Today we're interviewing our head football coach and athletic director, Rucky James. Let's start off with questions from Matthias.
Congratulations on your playoff season being named RGV Magazine Coach of the Year. How does this make you feel?
It's great, and anytime you can get an honor, it feels like a great accomplishment. But it's really all a team effort. Football is an ultimate team sport. I believe it takes a lot of moving parts. So getting an award really means that your coaches did a great job, your kids did great, and then you as the head coach really gets all the accolades on how your team does. So I accept it on behalf of my football team and my coaching staff and everybody else that's involved.
Describe your previous coaching experience.
I started coaching in 1995 in La Feria, coached there 2 years. Went to Santa Rosa, was there for 2 years. So in 1999, I went to Raymondville. I worked there for 4 years. After that, in about 2003, I left to Los Fresnos. I was there for a year, and then for another year in San Benito. Kind of got out of coaching for 1 year and got back into it here in Rio Hondo, and I've been here ever since. It's 13 years of experience here. So altogether, this is my 25th year, but I've been the athletic director and head football coach now for 11 years.
Oh, that's a lot of years.
That's a lot of years, yes. Y'all have not been alive that long.
How did you become head coach?
It kind of fell into my lap. I was the defensive coordinator here for 2 years. We did a fantastic job defensively, and I think I got the respect of the board. That was the board then. And so when this job came up, I had people asking me and football players asking me to apply for the job. So I applied for the job, and it became history.
Okay. So I know that one of the challenges for being a head coach is building a coaching staff. So what characteristics do you think are most important to you in an assistant coach?
Probably the ultimate thing, you want somebody that's going to be loyal to you and to the program. You always look for men of character. I think having great characters is very, very important. So loyalty, character, being great with kids. Not every coach seems to love kids. And so really for me and my coaching staff, I really want them to put the kid first and treat them like they're your own kids. And I think whenever you do that as a coach and you put that student as your son or your daughter, whatever you are coaching, I think you're more likely to get that kid really involved and really have the respect of the kid. But the answer to the question, I think, is character.
All right. So we always want our athletes to pass. So what steps will you take to ensure the academic eligibility of these athletes?
Well, like always, every year since I became the athletic director and head football coach, I always allow kids go to tutoring. I do not ever tell them no. They can go Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. They can go to tutoring. What I expect from my athlete is to get to the locker room on time, get dressed in his whatever we're going out in that day, whether it's full pads or just shorts, and then he goes to tutoring after that. Whenever tutoring's done, he just heads out to the field. That'll eliminate time of him having to go back and get dressed. But the way I ensure it is that's really the step one, is allowing kids to go to tutoring. And step two is each coach is allotted so many kids, and it's his job to stay on them and to make sure they're passing, whether it's speaking to teachers, helping the kid himself with tutoring. But really tutoring, I think, is the key. This is the first year since I've been here, my 11 years, that every freshman football player passed. That has never happened. I usually lose about 10 freshmen because they're not ready for the high school yet. So this was the first year that all my freshmen passed. So I was really excited that every kid took it to heart. And we spoke to them a bunch of times about passing and their grades coming first and stuff. So it all worked out.
All right. So being the athletic director, you're in charge of every sport. So how do you balance your responsibilities for all sports when football is specifically so important to you?
Okay, football is very important to me because I am the head coach of it. Just like every coach is the head coach of their sport, and they pay attention to it. So when it comes to me having to divide my time up, I hire great coaches that are responsible for their sports, and they're really the one that's in charge of that sport. So for me, I just have to oversee, make sure that they're doing their job, make sure that I have kids in the program. I don't want a program with 5 kids in it. I really want big, healthy programs where a lot of kids want to play our sports, and I know that evolves around the head coach of that sport. So really my job as the AD is just to ensure that everybody's doing their jobs. If there's issues, I handle all the parent issues and coaches issues, which is really my job. But yes, all around, it's pretty tough time. I spend a lot of hours doing this job. But I enjoy it. Love every minute of it. Dealing with kids and with coaches is my passion. So I'm excited every day when I come to work.
Coach, we all know there's an athletic disparity when the Valley teams play teams out of the Valley. How do you prepare your teams for that level of competition? So, for example, when you're playing Cuero, and both you and your players know that you're outmatched physically, do you ever wonder whether it's worth it playing these games with the kids getting hurt? And what's the upside, do you think?
Okay, well, when you get to that point, it's the playoffs, so you've got no other choice, but that is who's next in line. But some of these other schools who chose to play, like Odessa and stuff like these 6As that couldn't find games, they chose. So really that question would really evolve around those big schools that chose this year because they had a lot more non-district games. The way they're dividing us in D1 and D2, it's hard to find non-district games. So a lot of these schools play these big schools. And so they got a taste of what we experience by playing Cuero in the second round. Cuero's still playing football right now. So Cuero's in the finals, which I predicted was going to happen. But yeah, we don't have a choice in the small schools when you get to district. Now, I choose to play some of those teams in non-district, like I would play Sinton every year. And I knew they were bigger and stronger and faster than us, but I felt that it would get us ready for a very tough district that we're in. But playing those teams is just part of the deal, part of playing. And it's tough going into those games that you're physically outmatched. We feel we have a great coaching staff and I got great players. And I know we're really good enough we beat all the Corpus teams. But once you get past Corpus and you start getting into the Houston area, things change there once you get to that point. But you still got to play the game, and you just hope for the best. You hope for no injuries, and try to get out of there with your head still intact.
That's right. Well, we appreciate your time today, and we think this is a great interview, and just hope to continue your success at Rio Hondo. And
thank you very, very much. I really appreciate it. Thank you for all the questions. Whenever you need somebody, I'm more than happy to help you all out.
All right.
Thank you.